Johnson, Cam Ball, Bob, get us going.
Hey, how you guys doing? I guess for both of you, maybe Cam, you could take it first, and then Jayden. Ole Miss has over 700 yards last week, over 300 rushing and passing, 55 points. Just kind of what's your take on that offense, putting up those big numbers, and now you got to try to slow them down a little bit at least.
Yeah, I think they have a pretty good running game. They have two phenomenal backs in the backfield, and they do have a mobile quarterback. But I think the game plan that we implemented this week will mainly focus on stopping those guys. So,
going off what Cam said, everybody that's on the field just got to fly their plane, do they 111, play smart, and be physical.
And then, Judkins, I think he's number 4, but, he had a huge game against y'all last year, just like Rocket had a big game against them. And, but Judkins, I think he's been banged up. He's played, but until last week, he really hadn't broken out, but he had a big breakout game. Kind of what's your take on him breaking out like he did? What impressed you about him? And then I know you guys are on the other side of the ball, but do you feel like Rocket's maybe ready to have a big breakout game?
I could say what stood out to me about him is he was so young last year playing them, and the type of skill set and the type of things he did at such a young age. I know that as the older he gets, the better he will be. And I think most definitely Rocket is, he's been in the healing chamber for a while now, so he's ready to, lift off, as one would say, because his name is Rocket. So,
okay, Jayden, you got a thought on Judkins and Rocket?
Yeah, he's he's a very physical runner. He run behind his pads. He can get out, he can catch the ball in space, make you miss. And so yeah, we'll be ready for that. And then, Rocket, like Cam said, he healed up, so ready to watch him go to work.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Tom?
Hey, Cam, healing chamber. I like that. That's a good terminology. So how is it that Ole Miss stresses a defense? What are they doing schematically that stresses a defense? Jayden, if you could handle that one.
They do a lot of different things week to week. It's a lot of RPO and fast pace. Like, they do a lot of tempo, and I feel like that's just what puts stress on the defense is the tempo that they have.
Cam, your thoughts, and then about trying to get after Jackson Dart. What you think of him?
Jackson Dart, he's a good quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback, as I said before. He has a mix of pass and run. I think he's probably one of the best runners. Well, yeah, one of the best runners we've seen thus far. So we just mainly have to contain him in the pocket. And yeah.
All right. This series has been really crazy. I mean, the game 2 years ago, huge shootout. Last year, y'all got the big lead on them. They kind of came back a little late. What do you think about kind of the wildness of this series, Cam?
It's always back and forth. I know that last year we got out to a very good start. We still won the game last year, but we didn't put all 4 quarters together how we were supposed to. And I know that that's the big emphasis, not only on this game, but throughout the rest of the season. We have to put 4 pretty good quarters together on both sides of the ball. So,
Jayden, your thoughts about it's been a wild series.
Yeah, we just go in and focus on what we got to do. And we just hope to. We don't hope to win. Our mindset is to win, and that's what we come in to do.
And then just my final question would be, what's the kind of attitude of the team right now, having lost 3 in a row and 2 more road games before you get home? Jayden?
My freshman year, we lost 3 games in a row, and we ended the season 9-4. So we just taking it one game at a time and trying to get back on that run and finish off with a bang for sure.
Cam, just your thoughts?
Basically, like Jayden said, our freshman year, we did lose 3 in a row, and Coach Pittman put a little word together with the 4 Bs. I don't know if anybody remember that, but we went on a run and finished 9-4. So that's basically what we're looking to do here, instead of not lose another game. But also at the time, we just have to get our first win, just to get things back rolling. So,
thanks, guys.
Right.
Yeah, Cam, I'm sure you're facing scouts, so you're not going against Kudus and Limmer and Latham, those guys. But I was curious what your thoughts are on the position moves that they've made. How you think they'll be able to handle it?
I think they'll handle it well. Kudus was playing some center in the spring, and Brady he's very versatile. He can play tackle well, and I saved the best for last because when it comes to Bo Limmer going back to the guard, man, it's a scary thing, and I haven't seen it in a while. So when we did have like a good on good period today, and I seen it for the first time, I had to buckle my chin strap a little extra because Bo doesn't have to worry about getting the ball back to KJ anymore, so he can just come off full blast.
So whenever you looked and saw that, I guess maybe when you were doing some fastball, you might have seen it. But whenever you saw that, did they tell you ahead of time that the offense is doing this stuff, or was that just a surprise to everybody on defense?
I mean, I heard like some rumors about it, but I haven't really seen it. But then when I seen it was true, I was just like, okay, let me, tighten up my stance a little bit because I know about the old Bo playing guard. So
yeah. Jayden, I wanted to ask you about their wide receivers. Heath and Mingo are both no longer there, but they have, Jordan Watkins played last year, and Dayton Wade, Trey Harris, number 9. What are your thoughts, 11, 19, and 9, on what those guys bring to the table for Ole Miss and stepping up in place of those other guys who are now in the NFL?
They fast. They do everything for their offense besides the running game. And they're very key guys that we have to stop to win this game. We got to keep them in front of us. And I feel like they are pretty good players for sure.
What about what they do offensively? I mean, they've been hard for most teams to defend. Is it just like they'll call anything at any time, or is it just the discipline, the technique they use, or is there a play calling aspect to it? What's your opinion on what they do offensively?
They do a lot of things different, like I said, week to week. And then the tempo is another thing for sure. And then they run a lot of like one-man routes.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, fellas.
Daniel?
Defensive coordinators. Just what are through 5 weeks? Why is that, and what have they done well?
Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, Coach Pittman mentioned on Monday that y'all have taken to both defensive coordinators well. Just through 5 weeks, how is it working under them?
I can't believe we said
Coordinators. Defensive coordinators.
I mean, we're more of a aggressive defense. I know we have a lot of new things schematically. Overall, Coach T. Will, he's a pretty good coordinator. I can't say myself. So.
And then for the defense, like every week, it seems that y'all have been given a short field. Just what's the defense's mindset when that's the case, and working with the short field and they having good field position?
Make a stand. No matter what our offense do or where they get the ball at, our job is to go out there and get the ball back to our offense.
Thanks, guys.
Bob, close it out.
Okay, I guess this is for both guys. Jayden, maybe you could take it first. You mentioned tempo a couple of times when I was reading in the Ole Miss notes. I think there's something like the 8th or 9th fastest team in terms of fewest seconds between snaps, 20-something seconds. I assume you guys have worked a lot against tempo this week in practice, and just how challenging is that when a team is snapping the ball that fast?
It's challenging because we trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. They're doing a lot of motions, playing with your eyes. So it's a lot of communication. It has to be at a high level.
Cam, you got a thought on that? I mean, I know it's probably tough on you big guys.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily tough. It is a challenge. But basically, my whole mindset is, after we make plays, don't have time to get up and celebrate. We got to run back to the ball. They have a high tempo offense. So the main thing is just getting the call, making sure we're aligned in the right gaps so we can just keep playing ball. So.
And Cam, I noticed they didn't give up any sacks. They had 80-something snaps against LSU and didn't give up any sacks. What do you think of their offensive line? And then I think after you answer that, looks like Tom's got one more. Thanks, guys.
I think that coming off the LSU win that they're going to overlook us. So I don't think they're really too much worried about us. And like I said before, schematically, I think we're going to switch it up this week a little bit. So I look forward to it.
All right, Tom, get yours.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the game last week, you guys put up a goal line stand the last 3 plays of the game from the 1 yard line. And I know in other circumstances, maybe a team just kind of barrels in at that point. What do you think that stand meant for the team and just how it felt to hold them out on those 3 plays?
It felt good, even with the loss, just to, like man up and buckle down and just to show that no matter if it's 0 seconds left on the clock or 15, we'll never give up and we'll never stop fighting and never quit.
Jayden?
Just what Cam said, it shows the fight in our team, our mindset and our mentality. We coming out there, we're going to give it our all every snap until the clock hits 0-0 and 0. So, yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
What's up, guys? Appreciate it.